Yo, 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 good people. Your boys in the building, man. Your boys in the building. And there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but I'm just going to stay on the health portion of life, man, and just try to give you the rundown of what to look out for as far as, here's the thing, man, this is the world, man. And I've always said a few things. Anyway, before I get started, man, just people who are new to the channel, this is Leafofvitalessentials, and this is where we talk about and kind of dive into um, everything medicinal, everything ancient and herbal, everything that got to do with fruits, vegetables, and herbs and things of that nature that we're going to discuss it here on this channel. So if you like discussing about health and wellness and foods for that matter, then you're in the right place. Lethal Vital Essentials will definitely do that for you. So here, while we have a chance, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and that way you can get notifications and everything like that. And hit that little bell over there. That way you can get the alerts for when we do put out new information on different foods, herbs, and vegetables and fruits and things of that nature. And we also too want to talk about some of the other things that our society um, um, brings into our perspective, so to speak, and get different vantage points on what things may mean or what some alternatives may be for us in that particular area. So stay tuned, man. We're gonna get right into it. All right. Now, so there is a lot of miseducation going on. And I don't necessarily know if it's intentional or not, but we're going to have to be, as consumers, we're going to have to do a lot more research on what we are consuming. Okay. Bottom line, point blank, period. I'm not going to kind of beat your head in with a whole lot of this. All right. So just follow me through this, right? You need to do more research as a consumer if you're going to consume certain things. If you're going to buy certain things, you need to know that what you're buying is what you're wanting. All right. You need to know that what you're buying has the things that are necessary for you to benefit from it, whether it's an electronic or whether it's a food item. You want to know that what you set out to desire and want and need, that the product that you went and purchased can fulfill those things. It's just simple, point blank. And a lot of what we're doing is we're not reading the labels on the most important substance that you can consume. And it's not gas in your car, it's not electricity in your house, it's food in your stomach. The food is what we have kind of turned our head to and say, hey, the body is so amazing, the body is so incredible that I'm just going to stuff it with whatever possible and put it through whatever rigorous environment and stressful situation possible and I hope, cross the fingers, and I hope that it's strong enough to adapt and make it through. And guess what? The body has never, ever, for the most part, let us down, which is why we are so used to turning that head and allowing ourselves to consume whatever we desire. The body has a magical way of rejuvenating itself and a magical way of detoxifying itself and a magical way of not allowing the harmful things that we're doing to our bodies to be so expedient. And because of the time it takes for the body to literally break down, you then feel as though you have a lot of time to break it down. So it's a psychology thing. And I want us to change our psychology. I want us to now stop damaging the body because of its ability to heal and start preserving the body so that when you preserve those properties and when you preserve those qualities in you and you don't make the body have to run on E all the time just to kind of keep you going, And if you can preserve some of that, then when you actually really need it, you have more than an abundance there for when disease tries to set in, for when common illnesses and colds and flus try to hit you. There's people out here that have never been sick. There are people out here that have never been, stricken with any kind of harmful disease. And the reason why is because they keep their immunity up. The immune system is one of the greatest uh, weapons that we have to combat our outside toxins, all this environmental toxins, all of the stuff that we consume. Your immunity has to be at an optimal level in order to keep your body uh, uh, at a reservoir where it's fighting off things that it need to, but it's not utilizing everything that you got to do it on an everyday basis. It's a reason why we're constantly tired and we're lacking energy. It's because we're running our adrenals. Our cortisol levels are just up here through the roof. So, what am I saying in all of this? I'm saying that at the moment that you decide to want to eat healthy or take care of yourself in a more proficient way with a little diet here and a diet there, and you're going out, you're trying to buy the fruits, and you're going out and you're trying to consume the vegetables, and you're going out and you're buying green leafy things, and you're going out and you're swapping out sugars for organic fruits and juices and things of that nature. You are trying your best to go out here and eat some alternative things to incorporate some things that you know you were missing. But you're not getting any healthier. You're not feeling any better. You're not curing anything or healing anything within you. So you get a lot of us that say, okay, we're going to try the more fruits and the more vegetables and the more herbs, and we'll include these into our diet. We'll impute these into our diet, put a little bit more into our diet. And when we do this, we don't see the changes that we on onslaught thought would happen. And a lot of the reason why this happens is because our fruits and vegetables that we're buying from the common grocery stores, right? I'm not talking about farmers market. I'm talking about just going to your grocery store, picking up fruits and vegetables, and you're eating them, and you're listening to all these gurus tell you to eat raw vegetables here and eat vegetables there and eat fruits here and eat this there, nuts, grains, everything. But no one told you that the fruits and the vegetables that you are consuming are either GMO or they're filled with so many pesticides. Now, there is a way for you to be able to determine what is a pesticide fruit or vegetable, what is a genetically modified fruit or vegetable, and then what is a organic. There is a way. And they normally go off of the PLUs or the numbers that are written on the little stickers that are on the fruits and vegetables. Normally, you see this sticker if you've ever had a Chiquita banana. You see the little sticker there. Sometimes that number will start with a 4. Sometimes it'll start with an 8. Sometimes it'll start with a 9, right? What you need to know, just for the sake of this, shorten this video, look for the 9s. If you find a 9 in the front of any number, that is automatically letting you know that it's organically made. Organic. What is organic? What is organic? Just because the package says organic, just because the label says natural, does not mean it is organic or natural. And this is what I mean by being a consumer and not doing the research in what you are consuming. Just because you need to eat don't mean you eat anything. You still need to have the responsibility of being careful about what you put in a body that already comes with an expiration date. There's no need to speed that expiration date up, right? There's no need to speed that up. So let's be careful about what we're consuming. Organic means No man has touched it. It is indigenous to the location, area, the dirt, and everything that it comes from. And there has been no um, modifying of this particular plant or fruit at all. It is organically made from nature. God grew it, therefore, it is good. When God grows something, it is good. When God grows something, that is organic. Not when me and you grow it. That is cultivating. That is mass cultivation, right? That is it doesn't mean that those things are not good. They don't have all of the vitamins and minerals that the body needs. And for the most part, when we're talking about disease and sickness and cold, cancer, all of these different aspects of disease, we have failed to realize that most of these things come from because there is a deficiency. The body, we like to call disease all these different things. And you got 50 million diseases when really it's only one disease. It is a deficiency. Disease comes from an accumulation of areas with deficiencies. So if you have a deficiency, let's say in a particular mineral or vitamin, um, for a particular organ, and you don't have the right things for this particular organ, and you don't have the right minerals for this particular organ, what is happening is these organs are becoming deficient. And as time goes on and as more deficiency begins to happen, you begin to accumulate what is called disease. But disease is a result of the accumulation of deficiencies. Because your body probably told you you were deficient and it gave you a sign. A headache means you're deficient in somewhere. A stomach ache means you're deficient somewhere. We get all of these particular clues that happens to us day in and day out, but we just basically ignore them as if they're just particular results of everyday stressors. And that probably may be right. But there also too are inclinations or their red flags that there is a deficiency somewhere, that there is something missing in that particular area. So what we go do is we either ignore it or we do try to go ahead and change our diets and try to do whatever we got to do for it, but it's to no avail. And it's because you're eating fruits and vegetables that do not carry the proficient amount of vitamins and minerals that you need to bring those things back into optimal performance. The food that we're eating doesn't even equip us with the right enzymes that the body needs for the body to function properly. So when you're not getting the right vitamins and when you're not getting the right minerals, then you don't get the right enzymes, then guess what? Cancer, diabetes, arthritis, respiratory infections, heart disease, all of these things begin to now set into place. So you got to go out and you got to start looking for true organic, true natural fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Now, on the herb side of things, we have this big old influx of people wanting to go out and get natural organic herbs. But what we have not understood, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because I am a herbalist. I sell herbs. I have studied these herbs. I have researched these herbs. And I realized that a lot of these herbs have been on the main market for years and years and years. And you have to ask yourself the question, are these being mass cultivated or are they organic, God made herbs? And when you start thinking in that term, you'll start to realize that it's not a whole bunch of organic items out here. It's not a whole bunch of organic supplements. It's not a whole bunch of things out here when you start taking man's hands off of things. then you realize that your list of God-given things gets smaller and smaller and smaller. That the majority of the things that we are dealing with are either genetically modified, mass cultivated, or they're filled with chemicals and pesticides. And so that is the majority of what you are consuming. And so I have two solutions. Either you're going to research your food or you're going to grow your own food. And you need to research how to grow your own food. Those are your only two healthy choices. All right. Research your food or grow your own food. Begin to learn how to grow your own food. So therefore, you know that you are sowing into the ground and you're reaping something organic. All right. Now, with mass cultivation, a lot of times with the mass cultivation of herbs, the herbs are in a more shorter lifespan. They're in a more incubated environment, and it's not necessarily everything that goes on out here in the world. That's why you need that God given, because sometimes, see, God knows how to do things perfect. And rain and sun and wind and all of that, when it happens on God's timing, it's perfect for the plant that is receiving that. It's just like with us. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it's hotter than the other days, but we don't necessarily die because it's raining more days than other, and we don't necessarily die because it's sunnier days than others, right? It's somehow, some way, all of that variation, that mixture, it still works for us. It still provides abundance of life for us. And although we may not ever understand why it's so cold in the winter and why it snows and why there's no trees and there's no nothing, one thing you do need to understand is that when it does snow, that water in the ground filtrates the soil and fertilizes that and gets that ready for spring. So although you may not, oh, it's cold out here, I don't know why it's so cold out here, you may can't take the cold, understand that it's still working on your behalf. It is still benefiting you and it's still benefiting nature, right? And so that's what I'm trying to say is that when God puts his 2 cents in it, it tends to turn out beneficial for not only the plant itself, but also for the person who consumes that plant. Okay. So mass cultivation of herbs have diminished the minerals and vitamins in herbs as well. So now when it comes to herbs, you need to find herbs that are indigenous to the area that they are in. The most powerful herbs on the planet Earth are in Nigeria in the Amazon rainforest. So now when I'm looking for herbs, I'm looking for herbs in that region. When I'm looking for herbs that are indigenous to that area, we know that America, it ain't too much indigenous stuff. You got a lot of stuff that's indigenous here, but what hasn't been touched, right? But think about Central America. Plentiful, plentiful of different types of exotic herbs that we haven't even delved into yet. I mean, we're talking about Central America, but let's not even get back on the Amazon. There's so many different things out there that we haven't even scratched the surface on yet. That could be beneficial to our bodies. That could be beneficial to our health. Okay, we're just now crossing the line of cannabis, but cannabis been here, and for most people who've been smoking it, they could have told you it got some medicinal properties to it. If nothing else, it relieves stress. Okay. And the number two thing is it make you eat. So if nothing else, it did that. Okay. So we should have been researching that way longer than now. But hey, we're starting to understand that the herbs that are out here are very much conducive to our health. They're very much conducive to our spiritual health, to our mental health, and to our physical health. And these are the things that we need to understand as we press forward, because I look at the future and I see that the future of medicine is no medicine at all, right? When we're eating right, when we're growing the right things, when we know what is right, then the result of that is longevity. you begin to live longer, you begin to live stronger, right? And then you also begin to tap into other aspects of life that I believe that the human has yet to do based on the environment and how toxic everything is. And a lot of this stuff distracts or keeps a barrier between you and that higher level of consciousness. You know, one eat of some bad meat will bring you back down, right? So you need, and if you do eat meat, another thing too is understand what organic meat is, right? Understand grass-fed beef, right? With no pesticides, no fillers, no anything in it, man. And then also to understand that organic meats are way smaller. Organic chicken is way smaller than some of the steroid chicken. So you got to know what that organic chicken looked like. It looked like a real, it was a real chicken living. It don't, it's not blowed up and all of that. So it may look more or less like a hen to you than a chicken, but that's a real chicken. So you understand what I'm saying? So we got to understand what real stuff look like. And and of course you understand that shelf life. Shelf life automatically means chemical. So when we kill an animal and we put it on the shelf, and you don't go to the butcher shop and get it, and you don't, the butcher don't let you know, yeah, this fresh kill, we just got this in, and let me go and get a quarter leg of this, a quarter leg of that. Instead, you go to the grocery store, who that animal been dead long time ago, and it's still on the shelf now, then you know that chemicals and fillers and everything had to go into that to maintain the shelf life. Don't eat that food. Don't eat that food. I'm saying, what's more important to you? Your job, your kids, traveling, retiring, doing whatever you want to do every day? What's more important to you? My bottom line is whichever one of them you say are important to you, I would tell you that if you're dead, you can't do none of them. So the most important thing to you should be you. And how dare you not pay attention to what you're consuming, but you love your kids? How dare you not pay attention to what you're consuming, but you have the audacity to dream of a long life? How dare you not take care of yourself, but then have the audacity to want better for those around you? If you can't be the greatest love you've ever experienced, then how are you ever going to really truly experience love? Watch what you're eating. Watch what you're consuming. And that's just not, even though we're talking about food, I hope that you can take this and understand that this is a cross platform type of understanding. That when you watch what you're consuming here, then you should watch what you're consuming here. Then you should watch what you're consuming here. And if you watch what you're entering in, and if you create an environment that makes what you're entering in better, then it makes what comes out better. And now you have a better thought process about things. Now you have a better articulation about life. Now you have a better understanding, a better mental awareness about life, a better discernment about life. When we can control what we consume here, here, and here, then it automatically transforms what we put out into the world. Leafofvitalessentials. This information is very, very critical. I know that there's some of you out there that are suffering from what man has called life-ending illnesses. But I'm here to tell you that if you love yourself enough to know, then know this. There is a healing that can happen for each and every one of us But first, the healing has to start from the spirit into the mental, then the physical. No healing can take place without it being whole first. This has been your boy. Till next time. I love y'all, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Again, if you like this, subscribe, share the page, like it, hit the notification button. I will always be here for you. Go on www.leafofvitalessentials.com. We'll continue to put up more and more products that are going to be very beneficial for you and your family from a medicinal and from a health purpose standpoint. We're going to get the body creams on there. We're going to get the body scrubs on there that my wife has been diligently making and creating, man. And all of those are infused with herbs, okay, organic herbs. And you're going to start seeing that on my site. We're going to have different types of herbs. Not going to be your same old dandelion root and licorice root and ginger root. And I'm not saying that those things are not good, but we're going to start having things on there that are indigenous to Nigeria and Africa and the Amazon rainforest. We're going to start having herbs on there that are indigenous to Central America. And we're going to start having herbs on there that are indigenous to South America. And we're going to start having herbs on there that are indigenous to Asia and all these other different places, right? Because these plants, herbs, and veggies and all these things, they grow without being cultivated a lot. They grow without man's, fingerprint so much on them. And so getting these herbs in and having these herbs available, I truly believe that the potency of these herbs will be at a heightened level. One section of herbs that I do want you guys to kind of research on, because although we have been talking about mass cultivation, a particular section of herbs called the adaptogen herbs, ADAPTOGENS herbs, adaptogen herbs, are pretty much the premier elite herbs of all the herbs out right now, especially when we're talking about American herbs. So research those adaptogens. Pretty much they're mostly good to be stress reducers and things of that nature, but stress is one of the all-time, catalysts to illnesses and sicknesses. So maybe that is something that you definitely want to research. We have a stress away tea on our website. It consists of ashwagandha root, blue vervain leaf, and we also have some eleutherio root in there too, because we like to do the root, bark, and leaf trilogy. So always remember that. That's the difference in us, is that every time you drink our tea, you're drinking a whole plant of some sort. So we feel like a whole plant give you a whole you. Okay. So look forward to that. That is some of the stuff that we're doing. I want you to continue to learn about different herbs, learn about different uh, 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 ways to heal yourself and detox yourself. I'm going to say this before closing. No matter what you are dealing with when it comes to illnesses and sicknesses and stuff, detox first. Y'all stop taking all these pills and medicines and all these old different stuff from people who telling you to do whatever, man. Detox your body first. Nothing can happen if you're all stuffed up and you're all blocked up, right? Me giving you a pill is not going to do anything. You blocked up, but the pill can't go where it needs to go. If even if I did have some magical potion over here, if you can't detox to open up those highways and byways so that this stuff can get all through you and in you, you really done this no injustice. If you want fast healing, detox first before you take your treatment. Love y'all. Peace.